Welcome back, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for our second program this morning, celebrating Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year from Weaverville Joss House State Historic Park in Weaverville, California, part of the Northern Buttes District. And if you did not tune in for our first broadcast, it has been recorded and is saved on the California State Parks Facebook page. So please go back and watch. You can learn a little bit of history about the temple that you're seeing in the distance. But today, for our second program, we have some additional special events that we're going to be talking about with our very own Jack Frost, who has been a guide here at Weaverville Joss House for how long, Jack?
Well, I've been here for 22 years, and it has been my honor and my privilege to be able to do those years here with the department. I really enjoy sharing California cultural history.
Well, you do a very, very good job at it.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And for those of you that weren't watching our first broadcast, you can see Jack's not wearing a mask today. Jack is standing greater than 6 feet away from myself, and there are no other visitors around. But just a reminder, if you do come visit any of our state parks, we would love to have you. We just encourage you to stay safe and make sure you have that mask with you in case you can't maintain that 6 feet of distance.
Yes, please. That's very important at this time. Right behind me is the Parks Visitor Center, and we have many forms of different wonderful artwork that is displayed here. The two fans that are in black and white that are directly behind me were created by a Chinese artist, and this is one of the oldest forms of artistic calligraphy. These two fans, we have had some Chinese visitors that have been able to interpret these. They actually say a fortuitous encounter and a quiet and peaceful place. And I think that's why I enjoy working here so much, is that the fortuitous encounter is all of our park visitors that come to visit from all over the world. And it is a very quiet and peaceful place to work in.
What I think I'm going to do is, you mentioned that, I'm just going to pan around, and I could only imagine the fortuitous encounters, because as we mentioned in the previous broadcast, this is not easy to find.
No, it's not. We're over 300 miles north of San Francisco in the Trinity Mountains, right at the base of the Trinity Alps. We're about 50 miles due west of Redding, California. And it has always amazed me that the Chinese decided to stay here in Weaverville. By 1857, the gold rush had played out pretty much here. It was getting harder and harder to find gold. Many people were leaving to the more profitable, easier gold fields. But there were over 1,000 Chinese that stayed, and they established businesses here in Weaverville. They went ahead and finished the Taoist Temple. It was a 20-year project before they actually had saved enough money to actually complete it. And it's really wonderful that it's still here today, enjoyed by so many of our visitors here at the park. And the thing that is really special is that it is still being actively used.
And for all of you that are tuning in for this live stream broadcast, if you'd like, feel free to raise your hand, or if you're watching this through Ports, or if you're watching via Facebook, have any of you been here before to Weaverville Joss House? And we'll give you a moment to answer that. And for those of you that maybe did not just raise your hand, which I'm guessing is a majority of you, how many of you would like to come here now that you're getting a chance to experience it? Well, Jack, we have another special event.
Yes.
What are we doing today? Tell me what we're doing for this session.
From this session, we are sharing the traditional Chinese lion dance. This was a performance that was done last year, and it was videoed, and we're going to share that. And if you'd like to follow me into the visitor center, I'm going to share with you the image of Old Lion of the Mountain. He is the oldest Chinese lion dance costume known to exist here in California. He was created in China in 1912, made it over to California to be able to celebrate the Panama Pacific International Exposition in 1914. And then he was brought here to Weaverville, and he has been here ever since.
I'm excited.
He's been retired many years because we have 7 newer lion dance costumes for here. And we also have this wonderful group from Sacramento that shares their performance with us.
And as I'm sure all of you are guessing, our celebration here is quite a large celebration in years when we are able to gather. But this year, since we are not, we are bringing this celebration to you virtually. So although we won't have the live lion dance to share, we will have a wonderful recording of that we'll be sharing shortly.
This is an interesting piece of artwork here. Not only did this community have lion dances and parades, they had a Chinese theater where they offered puppet theater every week, and they would sponsor Chinese opera performances. And this is one of the old Chinese opera robes that was left here after a performance. The actor that wore this would actually portray the dragon.
That is beautiful. And as you can tell, we're walking around inside of the visitor center here at Weaverville Joss House, and we'll get around so we can make sure we give you as many views without glare as possible.
Yes, these displays actually highlight the land of the Gold Mountain and what were called the Gumshan Men, the Gold Mountain Men. These pictures are old classic examples of the arrival of the Chinese in Daifao and some of the very simple things that they brought with them. This is a little bronze hat box that is displayed here, and it still has both hats. The one that's on the left is the traditional hat that's worn every day, and then the one that's in the canister with the little red knot on the top was for when you visited the temple, or it was a very, very special occasion that you wore that one. And in this large case here behind me is the old lion of the mountain.
And I'm going to just work my way around for as best of a view as possible without the glare. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, I think we've got the best view we can have of it. Tell us a little bit more about this, Jack.
Well, this costume was created after a dream that Chinese emperor had, that he was being plagued by evil spirits in his dreams, and it was creating unbelievable nightmares. And then eventually his dream expanded, and a creature that looked very, very similar to this appeared and drove out all of the evil spirits that were plaguing him and causing him personal problems. So by imperial command, he had these manufactured all over China, and lion dances immediately started for special occasions, and especially at Chinese New Year's, to dispel all evil.
It is so detailed. I mean, just looking at, is it a fish or?
Well, there are many animals that are depicted on this. We will talk about the 12 zodiac animals in a little bit. One of them is the serpent, and so the blue in the side of this lion head is the serpent. The head itself is a lion, and this is a southern lion, so it is very, very colorful, has lots and lots of little mirrors that are symbols of truthfulness. They also reflect evil away from whatever they're placed on. These are found mostly here in California, and you see these almost daily in San Francisco doing lion dances. There is a northern lion that is different. It looks more like a real lion with lots and lots of fur. But these are the favored colors that are also depicted in their artwork.
Well, and as we just learned in the previous broadcast, that the mirrors were used frequently because they, as you said, evil doesn't like to see its own reflection. Is that how you worded it?
Yeah, they don't like to see the truth. The belief is that evil spirits are extremely ugly, and they like to hide that from you. But the mirrors will always reveal the truth. So anything that's reflective, like a mirror or shiny metal, or especially a fish pond that reflects, and also anything that is naturally beautiful. So they try to make these costumes as beautiful as they can. They embroider flowers and lots and use lots of colors. The fish ponds usually have the koi fish, which bring the beauty into the water. And because it's so reflective, the evil spirits will stay away from them. So many families will have their koi ponds at the entrance to their home. And here at Weaverville, our koi pond is right at the entrance to the visitor center. Unfortunately, today, because it's winter, koi hibernate. So they're all hiding down in the little grottos that we've created for them for winter.
It's so wonderful to learn the meaning and the significance behind things that we've all probably seen throughout our lives, like koi ponds.
Oh, yes.
And I
yes.
love how this little gem, this hidden gem of a California state park helps to tell stories that maybe have been forgotten in history in ways that this park brings exposure to stories,
yes.
to history, and to culture.
Yes.
It's beautiful. So
I actually made that mistake when I first started working here. Mrs. Lee was here one day and we walked into the temple and I said, oh, isn't it so nice that they beautifully decorated this temple? And she turned around and she said, there is nothing in this temple for decoration. She said, everything has a meaning, whether it's the color, the object itself, the animals that are honored in the temple. She said, it's all significant. She said that, it is decorative, but there is a meaning behind every piece.
So every Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, the celebration here at Weaverville Joss House includes a lion dance.
It does, yes.
And is my understanding we are going to get to see the video of the lion dance from last year?
We are, and we can go to that right now. It's a very, very colorful event. Lots of colors in the lions that perform here. And right at the very end, you'll see part of the 150,000 firecrackers.
Okay, well, we are waiting for that video to get shared. So Chris, when you have a moment, if you could screen share that video for us, that would be great. And there he goes. Thank you, Chris. Wow, that was very special. I can't imagine what it would be like to get to see that in person. And I am looking forward to getting to come back next year.
Oh, and we're really excited that we will be able to bring that to everyone again this next year. That was Eastern Ways from Folsom, California. And we love those folks. They are a very professional martial arts group. They follow all the old traditions. And one of the things that was very special about the Weaverville Joss House State Historic Park in its very early days of development was that Moon Lim Lee really wanted to continue this lion dance. And so he brought in someone that was very, very special to the Chinese culture. His name was Quan Tak Hing. He was a Chinese actor. He had over 77 films that he portrayed as a martial arts practitioner and a lion dancer. And he actually came and performed the first lion dance here at the temple and prayed here many, many times within the Cloud Forest Temple. So Quan Tak Hing was kind of like the early version of Jackie Chan. So we have always had great, great support from different groups to help this culture stay alive here in Weaverville. And that's one of the things that we are going to do now. We're actually going to join 3 teachers who teach at the Reading School of the Arts. And they teach a Mandarin immersion program where most of their subject matter is taught in Mandarin. And they were very, very gracious and willing to share their memories of their childhood in China during the Chinese New Year celebrations that they experienced as children. I have experienced this in many different parts of California, and there's an old saying, little kids will always say to the elders, "Gung hei fa choi, gung hei fa choi, gung hei fa choi," and they'll bow respectfully 3 times. But if your intent is to get as many of these as you can get, these are the lycée envelopes that are given out to children at Chinese New Year's, and they always have green money in them. And so little kids sometimes will get anxious and they are wanting to get as many as they can. So they will say, "Gung hei ba choi, lai si dai lo," which they get scolded for, especially their aunties and their grandmas will give them a real bad time about that because it's basically saying, "Give me my red pocket, I want my money," and they won't wait. So we'll join our 3 special guests from the Reading School of the Arts now.
Wonderful. And after these videos, stay tuned because we'll be doing some crafts.
So this is the childhood memory of Guo Xingnian, is a New Year celebration. And this is the where I grew up. So Hubei, and is the province where I grew up, and that's my hometown. And there's a little city, but at least we know which area. And that's southeast part of China. And then I will go the next slide. And this is some of my family tradition, like, before New Year, we do clean the house and do the New Year purchase and a big purchase. And then on New Year Eve day, usually it's the morning, we are very busy, and usually the tradition of our household was my younger brother would help my dad to do cleaning, dusting, and putting up the red carpets. And my dad has very good handwriting, and he wrote those couplets, and so were made by his hand. And then my elder sister and I would help my mom prepare the big family meal. We usually have big New Year feast during lunchtime, not that evening, but it's during lunchtime. And my mom was like a magician, like a magician in the kitchen. She was a very good cook. Sorry, my mom passed away, so that's why I'm talking was. And then before eating that big feast, we always pay respect to our ancestors, and we will serve some food in the dishes, the clean dishes, and with chopsticks. And so respect our ancestors first, and then before we eat, and after eating that big feast, we will go to cemetery. That's our tradition. And everyone goes to the cemetery to pay respect to our deceased relatives, and we will give them artificial paper money, and we send fresh flowers or some other artificial flowers as well. And and then another thing, and I didn't mention here, it was on the first day of New Year. That's after the New Year Eve. On the first day of New Year, we get up early to say New Year greetings to parents, grandparents, and uncles and aunties and the next door neighbors. And it's very happy and busy day, and we get red envelopes, which are 红包.小朋友 little kids will get red envelopes. And my mom, she there's another thing, that tradition my mom likes to, she usually had peanuts in the homemade dumplings, and whoever ate that dumpling, it means more luck, more fortune coming in the new year. And in our family, we really care about being, respect, love, and harmony, 尊重, 关爱, and 和谐. And so, my parents always instilled this saying in all their children, which is 百善孝为先, means among hundreds of behaviors, and the filial piety is the most important one. So 孝顺, respect, is the highly regarded in our family. And so that's it. And 祝大家新年快乐，然后牛年大吉。
Well, I noticed at the very beginning, you said that your brother helped your father sweep and clean and dust before New Year's. Were there any rules about doing that after New Year's started?
Oh yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Jack. You are expert on the Chinese New Year traditions.
I was going to share that.
Yes, I left out the most important part, which was like a New Year day, and we do not sweep in the house because that's bad luck. On the New Year day, we do not sweep in. We do not wash dirty clothes on that day either.
Okay, so let me see. So I just downloaded a map. So this is a map of China, and one of the hardest questions that I have to answer for my life is, where do you come from? Even in China, when my friends and coworkers and not relatives, but whenever I was asked this question, I have to tell them. Let me see. Let me get my pointer. Okay, I got my pointer. Pen. So I was born from Sichuan province, very close to Chengdu. It's called Mianyang. And I was born there because my parents were sent there to teach as teachers after college graduation in the Cultural Revolution. So I was born there. So I spent a lot of time everywhere. So I came from Hangzhou before I came here to the America. So that's where I came from, and go on with next page. So just now I found this picture from Chinese New Year celebration, and my mom and her sisters. So it's one of my family traditions is at the Spring Festival, the families, they get together, and my mom has 5 sisters and 3 brothers. Those are my aunties, and this is my mom. And very sad, last year my mom just passed away from cancer. And this is me. I digged out this photo. This is me. I don't know if you can tell, this is me. I was born in Sichuan, so I was sitting in a small bamboo chair. which is so cute. and this is my mom with her sister. They're sharing some photo memories together. It was just so touching. Whenever my mom's getting together with her sister and brother, she's just so excited, just keep talking. They're just so sweet with each other. And it's their best holiday, Spring Festival, the Chinese New Year, because that's the time everybody take all kinds of transportation, go back to Tianjin, to where my grandparents was. So my grandparent already passed away, but they still keep the tradition. And next one. And this is a New Year feast. And this is not typical table, because for typical Chinese New Year feast, it should be at the round table. And this one is a square one, because this one is a reading. Actually, I hosted some Chinese New Year to my friends here years ago, so I took a photo. And next one, some homemade sausages. We learned this from Sichuan province. So actually, I did this with my son Murphy. We did it in our backyard. And this is not childhood memory, but we still love doing it, because I remember I learned making sausages from my mom. So I'm still keeping the tradition. And this is ma la. This is a spicy and numbing Sichuan style, Sichuan flavor. And this is the Cantonese style, 广味香肠和那个麻辣香肠. And the next one, oh, this is one of the things my mom will definitely make. Actually, my mom came from North China, but she really loves sticky rice, so she's making niangao. Niangao is one of the two major like snacks, right? For Chinese New Year, niangao has the same pronunciation with niangao, which means every year you go up. You go up every year. So this niangao is made from the sticky rice. So you steam it. My mom usually put layers. Jujube dates. These are jujube dates. Jujube dates and some other super yummy fruits on it, and to make it colorful and multiple colors. It's a good token, a sign, like good luck. Next year you get better, and next year you get better, something like that. So niangao is sweet. It's a sweet thing, and make dumplings is just it's kind of the big part of my childhood memory. Whenever I think of Chinese New Year, the Spring Festival is just eating dumplings. I love dumplings, and I can never eat enough dumplings. And for my family, starting from like the Chinese New Year Eve, starting from kind of late afternoon, the family, everybody, somebody's making dough. My dad was the one who's making the dough, because my dad, he got a lot of good muscles there. And my mom's like cutting the meat. She didn't like using the grinder thing. She's thinking that's not the real thing to make dumplings. She needs to cut it by hand. And my mom's doing the fillings, and I was helping my mom, and we make like tons and tons of dumplings and all kinds of different flavors. And we will boil them, and then we just leave the boiled, cooked dumplings out there. I don't know, just tons of them. That can be good for almost 5 days, because starting from the first day of the Chinese New Year, everybody will go out to visit friends and families, to visit their elders, just to go 拜年, which means just to pay the New Year call. And nobody will be staying there cooking for you. So all those dumplings will just be my food. I'm just so happy. I love eating dumplings. And those are the homemade dumplings. And my mom and dad, and this is their grandson. So it's called 拜年. It's very important for Chinese to do 拜年 for the first day of January the 1st in the lunar calendar. The 拜年 just to say, to visit your elders, especially elders, your families and friends, just to say New Year good wishes. And then the elders will give the juniors or from Mary and Mary will give them the red envelope, the 红包thing.
Oh, I'm from Anhui. It's a little bit in the middle. It's not south, it's not north, but it's in the middle of China. I think one thing they didn't mention is for us, maybe it's different. For us, like on the first day of New Year, we needed to get up very early so my dad can open the door. Like we all needed to get together in front of the door and wait until when my dad see we are all there, he will open the door and light up the firecrackers. Then we can go back to the bed to keep sleeping. Another thing is, some things we are very expected for the New Year is the 红包, red envelope. And that's our motivation to visit our families. You can visit like many families and get envelope from them, but this will end when you turn 18. Like when you go to high school, then you will stop. When you go there, you will not receive red envelope anymore. I think people like Chinese New Year is also because like everyone, they can just do nothing. We're all eating together, playing together. We have enough time to be with our family. We can see friends, families that we may not be able to see for 1 year.
Wow, what a special video tribute just to get to hear all of those personal stories.
It really was. It brings it more alive for me, and I hope for you folks that are watching also, that Chinese New Year celebration is a family event. It's when the family always comes together. And for some, it was the only time that they saw each other. It was also when you had special treats. It was kind of like our Thanksgiving. I never, when I was young, ever wanted to eat cranberry sauce, but I had to at Thanksgiving. So like one of the teachers, she was remembering the dumplings. And I'm guilty of that too. I can eat 100 of them. It's no trouble at all.
So what do we have here? We've got, looks like we're gonna get to do a few crafts.
This is a craft that a lot of the families do during that 15-day period, getting ready for the end of the New Year's celebration, which is called the Lantern Festival. And it's a time when they light lots and lots of candles and lanterns. They want to bring more light into their lives and into the world. They want to get rid of winter, bring in spring. But also in doing this, it's their own personal commitment to rid themselves of their own ignorance towards many, many things, and to bring more light into their own personal lives. So traditionally, you use these Lycée envelopes. These are the little good luck envelopes. These are sold in many, many Chinese markets. You can get a packet of them fairly inexpensively. These came about $2 for 40 of them in a package with these beautiful decorations and Chinese characters on them. Or you can print your own. And on our Weaverville Joss House Facebook page, we'll actually have the templates available so that people can print their own, the ones that we have here. There are many, many tutorials that are available on YouTube. And any of these Chinese characters are very, very favorable. So the first thing, if you have these red envelopes that you want to do, is that you want to fold them against the back, both lengthwise and crosswise. So once you get those two folds, what I do is I like to take a marker and I like to make a very visible black line right at the edge on the back. And you can kind of see it there, those 4 little black lines right on the edge. That helps me line this ruler up when I put the ruler across the back and just get right to the edge of those black lines before I take that corner and fold it straight up and crease it against the the ruler. I do that on all four corners, bringing those corners straight up. The ruler really helps to just get that as a sharp edge. It also makes it much quicker to do it this way. I've always been accused of having big thumbs, so it doesn't work if I try to do it without the ruler. So that gets you started. Then you fold and press those edges down against the back. And you do that with 5 Lycée envelopes. You're actually going to do it with 10 because the star lantern has 2 sides, front and back. So you need a total of 10 envelopes. And then once you get them folded, you take them and you put them face to face and you line up those edges across the top. You take a stapler and you go as close as you can to that fold line and you put in a staple, top and bottom. You open it up and you put your next one right down on it like we have here. Line up the corners. And then once again, come in with your stapler and put 2 staples. Now I know I'm going fast, but this will be on Facebook so that you can follow it. You can kind of see how that is forming. It's coming together in the center of the points. So then when you get to the point where you have 5 of them together, you then take and fold the last 2 and staple them. And you come up with 1 completed star. You have to push the center out. That's basically what you're doing. And you have to make 2 of those. And so I have this one, and I have another one that I'd done and finished earlier. So then we have to combine the 2 together. And so you want to go that folded point, you want to put that folded point together. And I've actually glued a little tassel on the inside. It goes straight through it. It's actually glued in. And so then what I do is I take, if my big thumbs will cooperate for me, I put the 2 edges together like we did with the other half, point to point, come in with the stapler. Oops, that's not right. Better.
Well, and while you're getting your points back together again.
Yeah, what I'm getting, yeah.
But just as Jack mentioned, I'm just reminding all of you that these templates are available on the Weaverville Joss House Facebook page that you can go ahead and print out and you can make your own lantern. And there are lots of tutorials in case you need a little more help, like I know I will, because I too have big thumbs.
So what I've created is this little chevron right here in the corner. It's a little bit different than the others, but that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to put these 2 triangular points together and these little chevrons. So I'm going to continue around, lining up the edges. And this is a very popular lantern. So there's many tutorials available on the internet for this. Here are my big thumbs giving me trouble.
Your big thumbs are getting famous.
Yes.
On a Facebook live stream.
And I'm going to switch over to tape because that might be easier.
Now, how many of you have ever, in our audience that are watching right now, how many of you have ever had a chance to make a lantern like this? Raise your hand if you have. Oh, we have some hands going up. And for those of you watching on Facebook, let us know in the comments if you ever had a chance to make one of these. And as Jack is putting this all back together, should we test his multitasking skills? Should we? Jack, what is there beyond the symbolism of that you already described? The lantern itself, is there any additional symbolism?
Oh, they're just a very beautiful, colorful piece, but it is the Lantern Festival where you're trying to get rid of winter and bring in the sunshine and the light of spring. Spring Festival is another way of referring to this celebration other than just Chinese New Year's. And so I think the other thing is that a lot of Chinese families find that this is an easy way to occupy the children during this time period so that they don't get into mischief. And it is fun. It takes a little bit of effort to do it. You just have to line up those edges. The tape on this particular part, when you're putting the two together, is a lot easier. And you just keep going around, lining those points up, taping them down. And the points are basically this part right here, this point here, and this point right here. And you're bringing them together and lining the edges up on those fold lines. And putting in a piece of tape.
You know, what I'm loving as you are telling us about so many different components of tradition and culture that is accompanied with, you know, Chinese or Lunar New Year, of, you know, the idea that it's a way of bringing in springtime, getting rid of winter, but that also it's a way of bringing in more light in your own life as well. So taking kind of a global perspective on something and then also bringing it and making it quite personal.
It is, and this is something that it takes a little bit of effort to complete. You end up with something that you actually hold on to because it is kind of a nice finished product. I used an old tassel that I'd had just hanging around with nothing really to use it for. But there is a 5-pointed star lantern.
That's beautiful.
And the Lycée envelopes bring a lot of beauty and color into it. And this is something that you do during the 15-day period. Some Chinese families, they'll make hundreds of these so that they bring more and more enlightenment into the world. And that's important, especially when you've had a bad year like we've had. The year of the rat is not really the favored one. This board actually highlights all of the Chinese zodiac animals. There's 12 of them total. And this one that I'll light up is this year, the year of the ox. And next year will be the year of the tiger.
And we just came from.
Oh, we just came from the year of the rat. We'll leave him alone. So there are 12 animals, but then specifically there are 5 sacred elements. And so if you are celebrating, if today was the day that you were born, the year of the metal ox, the metal ox will not repeat itself until 2081. It's a 60-year cycle. It's 12 animals and 5 elements. And so 12 times 5 is 60. So I was born in the year of the fire monkey. And unfortunately, I've already gone through my 60-year cycle.
How are you able to tell the element associated? So I was born, I was a rooster, but I don't know what element.
Well, there are 5 roosters. And so you would have to go back, you'd have to go on the internet and look specifically for the year you were born. And it'll tell you that year whether you were earth, fire, wood, water, or metal. So this is a metal ox year. There will be 4 more ox elements before that metal ox repeats itself again. And as I said, that'll be 2081 when we will see another ox year.
So maybe that is as we are all learning more about Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, and we're learning about the Chinese zodiac. Is that how? Maybe that's a little project we all can look into of what year were we and what element were we and what's the symbolism behind it? That's something we all could do after these broadcasts. I know I will.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit difficult because like I said, I'm the year of the monkey. I was born in the year of the fire, the month of the fire, and the hour of fire. So my Chinese friends call me the triple fire monkey that should never live in the forest.
And where do you live?
I live in the forest. So I'm taking chances.
Wonderful. Well, Jack, thank you again for spending another 30, 40 minutes with us and showing us how to make a beautiful lantern and reminding us that we can find all of these templates on the Weaverville Joss House Facebook page so that we can make our own at home, for giving us a glimpse of that beautiful lion dance from last year.
Yes.
And reminding us that it is our hope that next year we'll be able to get to see that lion dance back here live again.
Yes. And we do have one more segment of this celebration at 1 o'clock, where we'll be back in the temple sharing the history during that period.
I'm very excited about that. So we hope to see you back at 1. It's lunchtime. Let's all get a little bit of a lunch break. And especially after hearing about dumplings. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. But we'll see you at 1. Thank you again for tuning in, and go be inspired. See if you can make a crafty project as well as Jack can. I know I'm going to try. Bye, everyone.